Dismissive avoidance are chronic liars, but for us to help them overcome this toxic behavior, we first have to understand the origin of where it came from. Now, as children, the truth was never enough. From their perception, telling the truth about the things that they got wrong attracted a huge amount of criticism and punishment. And often it was actually very difficult for them to anticipate when they were going to attract that criticism because they were so unaware of what they were doing and their effect on other people. And you'll know this in your experience with the DA that they're totally unaware of how it feels for you according to the way they're behaving. That level of empathy and the disconnect means that they will do things that on the outside look to everyone else as if it's intentional, but it's not. They're disassociated, disconnected, independent, taking care of themselves, completely oblivious in many cases to what's going on for another person emotionally. So as a result, they're halfway through something or three-quarters of the way through, and suddenly they become aware of what they've been doing, either through self-awareness eventually or us telling them. And instead of them telling the truth, they've developed this an innate skill of anticipating the threat of that abuse, neglect, abandonment, and massive amounts of criticism by mitigating the effects of those choices and coming up with a story. Now, they do that to protect themselves. Now, what I'm here to tell you about today is what we recognize when they start lying to protect us. When our DA identifies us as much of a safe space for them as they are for themselves, when we've found that level of security and they're starting to really integrate us into each of their compartments, feeling comfortable to lean into that relationship, you may well discover at times they are telling lies, not to protect themselves. There's nothing to gain at all, except to protect us from our own sensibilities, our own sense of guilt or shame. What is the hardest thing for them to have to deal with is shame. They carry a shame wound all the time. So if they anticipate or feel as if we may be feeling shameful from something we've done, they'll lie to us to protect us from our own feelings. Everyone projects. Whatever is important to us, we presume is important for someone else, and isn't the case. Same thing for a DA. When you find that they're starting to lie for you and no other reason, it's actually one of their greatest expressions of love. Would you believe that? It doesn't mean it's healthy or good. Just see it for what it is. Instead of being super hard on them, then approach it from that perspective of understanding what they're trying to achieve. Because the way that we approach the healing of this toxic behavior, the safety strategy they've formed, has to come from the perspective of understanding why it was formed in the first place. First, they have to become their own safe space. And that's only going to happen within a relationship. And that relationship must be peaceful, but at the same time challenging. Now, watch out for my next video, because it's going to be about how, in a relationship with a DA, it's required that there must be levels of discomfort for them to stay present. But it may not be the type of discomfort that's popularized by social media. We have to keep it a healthy discomfort. Watch out for that one. If you have anything else you need to know about a DA, then reach out. Let's have a conversation about that.